Hello everyone, my name is Tabby and welcome back to my channel Keeping Tabs. Today I'm going to share you my thoughts and feelings on Heir. Okay, first of all, why is there no map of Wendelin? Why do we not have a map of Wendelin? Do we ever go back to Wendelin? Is it like a one-time thing? Because I'm feeling like we need a map, because we were all over the place in Wendelin and I really like keeping track of my characters and I couldn't, and it hurt me. I loved this book so much. It is definitely my favorite so far and I'm really scared. I have no idea how Sarah J Maas is going to top this. Also, I don't think I mentioned this, but there's going to be spoilers, so if you haven't gotten up to Heir, you don't want to watch this, okay? Thank you. Bye. So I was so ready to meet Rowan. I was so excited because I've been seeing fan art of the guy for years, and I've always been curious about this dude. So when we finally got to meet him, I was super excited and I started to really like him. I still really like him. But then we met Dorian. I did not think I was gonna love this man as much as I did. I just love his loyalty to Aelin, and he hasn't even seen her in 10 years and he's still fighting for her, and he's... Okay, this is gonna be an all over the place video because I have a lot of thoughts and they're not organized. I didn't write them down. Sorsha? Can we talk about Sorsha for a second? I thought she was gonna live for some reason. I know all of the... Well, I thought I knew a majority of the big plot points, and so for some reason I thought Sorsha was part of the gang. I thought she was gonna make it to the end. I don't know why I thought this. I've seen fan art of her. I've heard people like say her name and mention her in reviews and book talks and just like in general, Sorsha, so that's why I thought like she was gonna live. She doesn't live. She gets her head cut off, so I was wrong and I couldn't even believe it. I knew Nahimi was gonna die long before I read Crown of Midnight, so I don't understand how I didn't know that Sorsha was gonna die. And I feel like everybody else who read this as this book came out, like you can tell the build-up, the lead-up that Sorsha was gonna die, but for some reason I really thought she was gonna make it to the end. I thought she was part of the squad. I really thought she was part of the, what is it called? The court at the end. Like I really thought she was going all the way, and even when like she was on her knees and the guard had their sword on her neck, I was like, she's gonna make it. She's in the other books. I was so confident, you guys. And I thought that Dorian was just gonna burst with magic and save her that way, but he didn't. And when they cut off her head, I was like, okay, but she's in all the books, so maybe he's gonna magically bring her back to life. Maybe that's part of his powers. No, she's dead. And you know what should have tipped me off was that I know that Dorian and Manon become a thing, and even when I was reading this I was like, oh my gosh, Dorian and Sorsha, oh my gosh, isn't Manon and Dorian supposed to be together? How is this gonna happen? How are they gonna break up? Blah blah. She gets her head cut off. That's how. Chaol sacrificing himself, like Dorian sacrificing himself, and when the king threatened Chaol's life, that's when Dorian's power like roared to life, and it said something about how he wouldn't be able to endure Chaol's death. And I just love friendship, and I love their friendship, man. And it was rough in this book. It was rough because they were both like keeping things from him. Well, mainly Chaol was keeping stuff, and it was just hurting me. It hurt me. And then when they were leaving and Chaol said I love you, and I still love Chaol, even though like he kind of like admits it. I don't know if he admits it or Dorian and Dorian kind of throw into his face that he didn't accept Dorian and Aelin for who they were, and he wanted them to be normal, or like, you know, he wanted them to go back to the way they were and all that stuff, and he just wasn't able to accept it. And they really did make him realize that, and it was, I mean, good for them, good for him, he needs to know, but it really hurt me. Really hurt me. It reminds me of, what's his face? Mal from the Grisha trilogy towards Alina, and I love Mal and I love Chaol. Something else that I really loved was Manon. I know, what else is new? But Titus, was the big wyvern. I really thought that was gonna be her wyvern. I thought she was gonna go after him and maybe rename him, because they had that moment where they like made eye contact, and so I was like, oh, she's taking Titus. Nope. I love that the little runt comes out on top and that she claims him and they claim each other and they become friends, and he shelters her from the cold and the rain, and it's just so precious. And these wyverns are slowly starting to bring out the human in these witches. These witches are crazy. They are so violent. The grandmother is horrible. Wow. Does she die? Can you tell me? Just tell me. It's okay. I want to know. And yeah, she needs to die. Also, there's mentions of a redheaded queen. What do they call her? A redheaded queen. A young woman with wine red hair who calls herself the High Queen, and she's like off in the west. Is that the girl from the Assassin's Blade? What was her name again? The one who went all crazy. Assassin's Blade. You know, the girl with the red hair, and like she killed the guy, and then Aelin was gonna kill her, but then she like let him go. Is that her? Ansel? Ansel? I think that's her. Is that her? That's cool. I would like to see her again. I also remember complaining in one of my vlogs that Sarah J Maas, she was talking about scary creatures but wasn't showing us in the story, and I wanted her to show that old scary story. But then we get the skinwalkers, and those things were scary in the woods. Every time they were in the woods and someone was chasing them, it was intense. I love Rowan and Aelin's relationship. It starts off as a hate to love, like they really did not like each other, and then they slowly start to tolerate each other, and then they slowly start to like each other, and then he told her about his wife, and then she wants to get a tattoo at the end. I love them. And even at the end, they're not even like lovey-dovey. They're still like just really good besties right now, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And they claimed each other. He claimed her. Hate Maeve. She's going down, right? Tell me. I'm kind of confused about Maeve and Mab and the other sister and Brannon. Like, what is that? I don't really know. I don't understand that whole story, but I'm just going with it at this point. I'm thinking Maeve dies because I know Lorcan becomes like a character that we know, but he's also like tied to Maeve. So does that mean Maeve dies, or like what else? And do we get to see more of those wolf twins? Because they were kind of interesting. I liked them. I was also finding little things that reminded me of ACOTAR, like the word or the phrase death incarnate, which is Rhysand. Death incarnate, night triumphant, Rhysand. She used that twice in this book, and I was really happy. And also right here, Rowan says, there you are. Remember when we said that? Remember in ACOTAR? I do. When the king ordered all of the slaves from the slave camps to be killed. That whole sequence of events, that whole like jumping around from POV, like from Rowan telling Aelin what happened, and then from the king saying it out loud at the meeting, and Aedion pretending to be thankful, and then Aedion in the crypts and Kale comforting him, and that was just so crazy and so sad. And then it jumps ahead, like not jumps ahead, but it jumps to the theater house and the opera or whatever, the group of singers singing all of those songs from those nations whose people who were in slavery and then they died, and like Elway and whatever, and they were singing their songs, and then nobody ever saw them again. Like, wow, the king is evil. I didn't think he was that evil. I thought he was like a, you know when you get evil villains and they don't really do anything evilly, they just, the author just tells you that they're evil. I really thought that's what this king was in the first book. I was like, okay, he's evil. Ooh, what is he gonna do? I don't know, he's evil though. But no, he's evil. He is evil. And I was, oh, wow. 2 whole slave camps. Everybody dead. Everybody dead. What the heck? And when he puts the collar on Dorian, and Dorian is struggling and screaming and trying to get away. What's gonna happen to Dorian, guys? What is going to happen? He has that black thing on his neck, the collar. It just reminds me of Alina again. Like, I can't. So since I know that Manon and Dorian get together, and Manon is working with the Wyverns because that's what the king wants, and now that the Wyverns and the witches are like bonded now, they're gonna fly on over to the king and see what's good, what he wants, and then that's how Manon is gonna meet Dorian, because now Dorian is enslaved from the collar to his dad. Boom. And maybe she's gonna save him because now she has a heart because of the wyvern whose name is Abraxas. So excited. And that Iskra witch, I hate her. Is she gonna die? Can somebody tell me? She needs to go down. She needs to go. I don't like her. Also, Manon full-on went into the spider's den and stole a crap ton of spider silk. Are we gonna see some consequences of that? Because I feel like there would be some, because she just walked out with all of it. All of it. Do the spiders leave that area? Like, is she got, like, what's gonna happen there, or is that done now? She just successfully stole it, because I feel like anybody can do that, honestly. I mean, she did have the wyvern. She could have, I don't know. I don't know, but it feels like there should be some consequences regarding that whole situation, so hopefully there are. There's also the whole moment where the Valg catch up to Aelin and they're protecting the fortress, not called the fortress, but you know what I'm talking about, where all the demi-fae live, and they get her and she starts going through all of the memories. First of all, the memory of her parents' death. I loved seeing that, and I loved seeing Lady Marion, I think her name was, who is Elid's daughter, and I know Elid is a character, so I'm so excited. That means Elid is going to come by any minute now. Marion sacrificed herself so that Aelin can go, and then, my god, she told her to tell Elid, and she never told Elid, but her mother told her to tell her. The heck? Do we get to meet Elid in book 4? No, wait, did I just read book 4? What book is this? Book 3, book 4. Queen of Shadows. Do we get to meet Elid then? I already really like her, and I just want to meet her just because I liked her mom. And the eye, oh no, not the eye of Elena. The other word key, which is the medallion, which Arobin has. And for some reason I thought he died, but he's still alive, I guess. So that's going to be interesting. I don't really care about seeing Arobin again, but I mean, we gotta get the medallion thingy-mabob, so I guess we're doing that. I hated that we had to leave Rowan behind, by the way. Hated it. This is why we need a map of Wendelin, because he's still over there. He's still over there, and I need to know what's going on, and I need to see it. But anyways, back to the whole memory thing. She was having, like, not a memory, but a vision of her at her castle in Orinth, and all of her court is with her, and Aedion's there, and I think she says Rowan is there. And it has, like, a whole, like, it's on page 512 of the paperback. But the way it's written as if it's the last page of the final book. Like, she's walking out, she's won, she's now the queen, and she has her court, and she's looking out over the people, and it says, she smiled at the crowd, at her people, at her world, so ripe for the taking. And I was just thinking, like, if this is not the last words of Kingdom of Ash, Sarah J. Maas missed out on an opportunity, because that would have been so cool if it all circled back again and that's how it ended, because that was the vision that she had. It would be so cool if that's how it ended, and I'm so tempted to go and look at Kingdom of Ash and see if it's true, but I'm gonna hold off. Overall, I just felt like this book was such a breath of fresh air. It was just, the world exploded and expanded way bigger than I ever expected, and it was so much more adventurous. We got to learn so much more about this world and about the magic system, and I loved it. I also really love multiple POVs, and we got more POVs in this, and I was so thankful for that. I loved it so much. I just hope that we continue to get an Aedion point of view, because I cherished those. I really did. I also loved seeing Aelin struggle with the events of Crown of Midnight and her feelings for Chaol, and she asked if her and Chaol are mated or not, because she attacked him, and she was thinking, well, if he's mated, if he was my mate, I wouldn't be able to attack, and oh, he's not your mate because Rowan is, and I love this so much. But it was making me sad that she was sad with the way things ended with Chaol. And what's even more sad is that she took off the ring, and he almost took off the necklace and decided no. So she was kind of moving on, but he was like still keeping that part of her while she got rid of that part of him. Oh, you know what I mean? He didn't take off the necklace, but she took off the ring. I can't. I cannot wait for Tower of Dawn. I cannot wait. Anyways, that was my messy, rambly, random thoughts on Heir of Fire. that's it, folks. I loved it. I loved Rowan, and I loved their growing relationship. And there was also like a murder mystery thing happening with the bodies and the husks, and there was so much happening in this book, and I loved it. And I cannot wait to continue. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what your favorite book in the series is. I know I've already asked that for people who watch my vlog. Ooh, ow, I hit myself with the... I love today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!